Welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, back on the club pond again today. This is the third round of a 3-round series for a sort of like a Winter League Championship. If you've been watching the other videos, I won the first match. Ivan came third. I came fifth on the last match. Ivan came second. And what that means is, because it's done on points, is that Ivan is 1 point less than me. So to win the series, I've got to beat Ivan today, and that's really all I've got to do. I don't think anybody else is all that close, so as I say, as long as I beat Ivan and have more than him in terms of weight, which hopefully I will have because my first match weight was quite substantially larger than his through landing a lucky 15-pound carp a few minutes from the end. So anyway, I'm on the far bank again today. I've actually got about 8 feet of water. There's the float, hooks on the end of the pole there. But if you come back a little bit, I've only got 4 feet of water. It literally goes like that and then just straight down and out like that. So I'm going to fish the other side of that ledge, just where it flattens out. That's at 11 metres. Got a couple of swims planned out. Not going to fish down the sides because this side never fishes down the side. Remember, it's a natural venue, so they're not going to get any bait thrown in there. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to have a feeder rig which I can push out for the first 20 minutes or so while I just feed this pole line. And as I say, I'm going to have two lines. I'm going to have one sort of about there and one just further across, and the distance between them is probably going to be about 3 metres, just so that I can alternate between one and the other. Depth is the same on both, so that's okay. And I've just got this one rig set up ready to go, using a 14 slick elastic this time. I'd been using the 22 purely because, as I say, you've got 15, 20, 25, 30 pound fish in here, but they haven't been showing, and I just wanted to make sure I'm not sort of pulling through them or anything, because last time I really did have issues with missing bites and fish dropping off. So this is just me trying to go back to more of a normal sort of a setup. Hook size is a 14, hook length is 020 matrix, and I think that's about all you need to know, because the whistle's about to go and I need to get some bait in there. Okay, the whistle's just gone, and I'm not going to put any ground bait in this time. What I'm going to do is use this little bait dropper that I was using last week, one of the smallest ones I've got, put a small amount of pellets in it and a very small amount of corn. I'm going to put one of these on each of the two 11-metre lines, and then I'm going to go out on the feeder to let the fish settle a bit. If you haven't seen one of these before, all I do is put it in, ship it out. That lid doesn't come open when I just do that because I keep pressure on it. But basically, when I get out to where I'm going, which is just there, got the marker, let it drop down. There we are, it's on the bottom. Give it a bit of a shake and lift up. Lid's open, bait's dispersed, and it's exactly where I want it to be. I could do it with a pole pot, and I could do it in any other number of other ways, but today I just want to get it nice and tight, but small amounts of bait. So that's why I'm doing this. There we are, just close the lid. Make sure you keep pressure on it so it doesn't hit the bottom, because that's the last thing you want to do, because it'll all open up. Go for my second marker, which is, as I say, about 3 metres to the right. Drop it in, give it a shake, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do for bait today. Well, for now anyway. As you can see, it's nice and open. Just don't overfill these guys. I'll take this off. It's only on the hook. 14 hook, I think I mentioned that. Right, and now I'm going to go out on the feeder. Just for 20 minutes, just to see what happens. I want to get the fish a little bit more confident this week. I went out on them straight away last week, and I think that was a wrong move. So just take this bar off. Come on, off you go. That's it. Right. Reasonable size feeder, nothing too massive needed. I'm going to put 2 bits of corn on because I feel like it. There are some big fish in here, as I say, so it won't hurt to do that on this feeder. This one I've got a hair rig on. Using a Drennan stop. There we are. Bit of ground bait. Oh, just need to sort myself out then. Put my hat on in a minute. I'll try not to talk to you with my hat on. A little bit of bait to go in it. And off we go. That's it. No rocket science involved here. I'll just move that out of the way a bit. Pick a marker and I'll cast out. There's nothing out there particularly by way of features, so I'm just going to give it a reasonable chuck to there, and then I'm going to clip up, and that's it. Going to have about 8 feet down there as well. Just need to sort that rest a bit. There we are. Okay, that's me in and doing. So hope we catch a few. I'm next to Enric today, and he fished that peg last time and had 2 fish and really struggled. Guy to the right of him blanked, but Ivan was over that side and he had about 14 or 15 pounds, something like that. So hopefully there's 1 or 2 fish around. I've put 2 small feederfuls of bait out where I'm going to fish, and now this 3rd one is going to be me doing some fishing. I did leave the other ones in for a minute or 2, but I just want to get a little bit of bait out there. Same sort of depth out there, not really any difference. Probably looking at 8-9 feet, maybe a little bit more, but not much. And there we are. So just a question now of waiting for a bite. First bite, I was just about to bring it in. Enric's talking to me now. It's not a big fish, but it's as always, it's very welcome, this first fish. Just want it to stay on, don't you? I was literally just about to fish in the do the pole line, and it went round. Nice little pull, followed by another more definite one. Sort of a jaggy sort of a fight, but that's all right. Tiny fish really, but I don't care. It's something. That'll do. Right, we're off. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a pound or so. That's all. Not huge. Might as well go back out there. Nobody else is catching. So if I can put a few together on the tip, on the feeder, that's all to the good. Not fishing all that far out, it's only about 30 odd metres. Just a comfortable sort of a distance really. Okay, let's give it a few more minutes, and then I'll definitely try the pole line, because the pellets I'm using, let me just get this sorted out, these chicken layer pellets, they do break down in the water. It's not like expanders and hard pellets, which yeah, they may break down eventually, but these ones break down after about half to 3/4 of an hour to virtually nothing. So I will need to keep some bait going in order to have some sort of smell on the bottom and some attractant. But we'll give this a few minutes and I'll just have a quick try on the pole and see how we go. I've given it another 10 minutes out on the tip and there's been no other indications, and Enric's just had a bite but lost it, so I'm going to come in and try that pole line like I said. Just going to use a single piece of corn to start off with, and we'll work out where we go from here based on whether we get any bites or not. As usual, I'm using the pole rest there, the pole support bar. Again, for those of you that have watched my videos a lot, you'll know I've got arthritis, so that's why I use it. And it helps a lot. It should be about right, and hopefully we're picking it up on the camcorder as well. Giving it a few minutes out there on the first line at 11 meters, I'm going to go across to the right to the other line, which I mentioned right at the start, and if I don't get a bite on there within the next probably 3 or 4 minutes, I'll refeed again through the dropper, and then I'm going back out on the feeder. Feeder line should be okay. There's 4 or 5 feederfuls out there now, excuse me. So hopefully we're keeping all the swimmers fed. And nothing on that line either, so I'm going to bring it in and do what I said. I'll refeed through the pole, through the bait dropper, and then I'm going straight back out on the feeder line, hopefully put together 1 or 2 fish out there. We're just over an hour in, guys, and I've still got the same 1 carp. The guys around me are still on blank, and I've really got no idea what the other guys have caught because it's too far away to see, and they're not speaking, so I'm suspecting they're not catching much either. I'm going to come back in now after this one and just have another go at the pole lines. I did top them up as I said, so you never know. Enric still just had that 1 bite. Not sure how well I'm going to fare today. Just put the pole in and missed my first bite. One of those again. Let's see how we get on with it, and I might need to make some changes to the rig. Tried both pole areas at sort of 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and literally had that 1 bite right at the very start. But I've tried sweet corn, and I'm trying punch bread at the moment, and just nothing. So I'm going to follow the rotation, feed with the bait dropper, and then go back out and see if I can catch something on the feeder again. Again, I don't think anyone around me caught anything. I think Enric missed another bite, but he was messing around with his waggler rod at the time. We're coming up for 2 hours in. I'm back on the tip, as you can see, and I just had my first little liner. Whether that means I'll catch anything, I don't know, but at least there's activity out there. Still nobody around me caught anything, and I just think I heard someone shout down that he hadn't either from the far end, so I really don't know what they're catching on the dam wall or across the way there. But this is pretty rough. I've just had GT coming down talking to me. He's bored. Paul up there's just had 1 fish. I'm still on 1 fish. Enric's on none. The guys across the way, I just had a text. One's had 6, one's had 3, and one's had 2. But it is a lot shallower over there. You're only looking at 3-4 feet at normal sort of pole distance or waggler distance. Here I've got probably 8 feet because it goes off a cliff. So it's I really don't know what to say. I don't think I'm going to make much of an indentation on this today unless I can get something moving on the feeder line. I've just had 2 indications now, and that's it. I'll keep trying the pole line, but there's not much doing on them at all. And I've had probably 3 liners out there in the last sort of 10 or 15 minutes or so, and I was going to try the pole again, but I'm going to go back out there with punch bread on, just to see if it's the bait that's causing me the lack of bites. I'm not going to give it long. Give it a quick try on the pole, and then maybe go back out again. But at the moment, it's still pretty rubbish. I left the feeder out for another 10 minutes or so with the bread on it, and still nothing happened. So I'm going to go and try the pole line yet again. But this is pretty terrible at the moment. Just hope the fish turn up on this line, or any line for that matter. That took me by surprise. It actually just dipped slowly. Not doing anything else though. Oh. Yay. It's tiny, but it's a fish. In fact, it's a very, very tiny fish. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That's about as small as it gets, isn't it? Can only just get the sweet corn in its mouth. But it has swallowed it. Still, 2 fish. Who knew? Yay, go. Well, it's been a long time since I had a bite and I was falling asleep there. Eyes were shutting. We're now at 1 o'clock, which is 4 hours in, and this is my 3rd fish, providing I get it in. It's a bit bigger than the other couple, I think, but not much. But at least I'm getting a bite. I'm taking it so gently you wouldn't believe it. Oh, oh well, just when you think you were getting there. Henrik's just had another one, so he's got 2 now as well. Half past 1, so that's what, 4.5 hours in. Still exactly the same. So I've been trying some of Den's durable pellets, punched out. That's not working either. Getting the odd knock, odd liner, but nothing you could say was a proper bite. So I think I'll feed again, and I'll just try on the tip on the feeder line just to see what happens out there, because it can't be any worse than where I'm at the moment. This is a pretty terrible match, guys. I've still got 2 fish. We've got about 40 minutes to go, and I can't get a bite on anything. Henrik next to me has got, I think it's 5 or maybe 6 fish, only small things, you know, they're sort of 6 ounce range, but they're fish, and he's missing the odd 1 or 2, but I just cannot get a bite. So out of desperation, I'm going to put this feeder over the pole line, because that worked on the first match just down the way there, so I might as well give it a go on this one, because it can't make any difference. That'll do. And right over the top of the ledge there, oh sorry, right at the bottom of the slope after the ledge. And I've put some bait out there during the course of the day, but odd liners is about all there is to it. So we'll give this a go just in case. We're just coming up to the end of the match now, guys, and it's been a real shocker, hasn't it? Still had the 2 fish, dropped that one off, and that's it. Henrik sitting next to me here, he's had 1 or 2. I think he's probably got 8 or 9 fish now. They're only sort of small things, but he's done a lot better than me, so fair play to him. The guys to my left are packing up, so they're obviously not done very well, and neither have I, on this match anyway. So the only thing that remains is to see how I actually got on the overall 3-match series. Obviously I'm not going to win it because Ivan's going to beat me, but it would be nice to get sort of a 2nd or a 3rd out of it, even with such a poor performance on this day. I say poor performance, but I don't think it was me. I think fish just weren't very interested. As I say, well played to Henrik. He's winkled out 1 or 2, but I think we've got to wait for the weather to warm up a little bit. Anyway, as always, it'll be a few hours before I get the results, but only a few seconds for you, so stand by and I'll get back to you with those. So here we are with the results then, and you won't be surprised to learn that I did really badly. 2 fish just was never going to cut it, and it turns out, would you believe, that I came 11th. Now that's probably the worst result I've had in a long time. It is what it is, guys. I didn't catch fish on the day, and some others did. And in fact, well done to Ivan. He actually won on the day, and he's obviously won the 3-match series overall. So yeah, well done again, Ivan. He only had about 15 pounds though on the day. Richard, who's been having an issue with his drawing arm lately, didn't fancy his peg, but came 2nd with almost 15 pounds and almost won it. So there you go, Richard, mate, you can draw after all. Working down, you're down into the sort of £2, £1 range for quite a few at the bottom, like me. I actually had just over £1. It says 1.2 pounds because we do ours in kilos. And it was rubbish, wasn't it? It really was. So it is what it is. I came looking at the overall results here. I'd hoped for at least a 2nd out of this, possibly a 3rd, but it turns out that I got leapfrogged by both Richard and Coops, and I actually only came 4th. But as I say, it is what it is. It's fishing, and that's the way it goes sometimes. So, as always, I love you and leave you. If you enjoyed it, I hope you managed to do that too. If you did, give us a like, please. And of course, if you want to subscribe, feel free to do that too. And until the next time, bye for now.